Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind. 5, 10 lives.
Welcome to the Deadlights podcast. I'm your host, Sam Johnston.
And I'm the other host, Leslie, bringing you your weekly dose of horror, everybody.
Oh, man. I feel like more and more these days we're going into these episodes singing.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I kind of like that balances out, like, whatever horrific things that we just saw. Maybe we're coming into this with a more sing-songy attitude.
You got to balance it, you know?
You need a little bit.
You need a little musical theater in your life to balance out the horror. You're shaking your head.
Well, neither of us like musical theater,
Yeah,
so
no.
it's an unfortunate balance that we have to have. But welcome, anyway.
Welcome.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hope
about
you have some
horror.
balance in your day today.
Yes, I hope so as well.
Namaste.
And you know why you're here. You're here to hear about some horror movies and our thoughts on some horror
Yeah.
movies and what we just watched.
Or you're just here because you think we're sexy.
I hope so. Maybe sexy too.
No, but you're sexy.
We're sexy horror movie reviewers. Oh my God, it's getting hot in here.
Woo!
It's getting steamy. All right.
What did we watch?
What did we just watch? We watched Paranormal Activity from 2007, written and directed by Oren Peli. After moving into a suburban home, a couple becomes increasingly disturbed by a nightly demonic presence.
And were they disturbed?
They were disturbed. I was pretty disturbed. And just from the top, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 50th episode of the Deadlights, by the way. So exciting. Exciting. Thank you all for joining us over so many episodes.
50 of them.
50 of them.
Wow.
Well, and we've done more than 50 of these things because we haven't even counted the minisodes. So that would be
True.
actually 100. And then the 31 days. Oh, yeah, we're
just
going,
having
y'all.
a ball.
We just can't stop.
We can't stop, and you won't make us.
You won't. You won't. And I think the 50th episode was brought in pretty well by this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when this movie came out, and we also wished for this in our wish list episode movie.
Isn't that nuts?
How does that happen?
How? I kind of want to see if this is a pattern. If the horror gods exist, and just like every episode, we just kind of, I don't know, just wish, do a
Will
little
it-
prayer.
Yeah, will it into happen.
like-
What if we're both being followed by some sort of entity that our whole lives, just like in Paranormal
A movie
Activity,
entity.
a movie entity that is giving us good things? Because we said, not all demons have to be bad, right?
Absolutely not.
I'm not going to hold the fact that you're a demon against you.
Look, I'm going to just jump in.
Cheers, by the way, to 50 episodes.
Cheers.
Let's get into it.
Oh, wait.
Yes. Oh, God. If you're just hearing this, Leslie almost just lost it all.
Oh, I didn't want to spit take on any of the equipment.
Or my carpet.
I mean, I would prefer your carpet over our
Fair. Me
equipment.
too.
But I held it in.
All right.
I held it in.
Let's get into it then. Ooh.
So what I was going to say, going off of the not all demons are bad, is that this demon just kind of wanted to protect Katie.
Yeah.
Because Micah truly wasn't the most horrible of people or boyfriends.
Wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, Katie could have done better.
Yeah, definitely.
Katie and the demon have had history.
Yeah.
History. And you can't deny that.
Why don't we just start with the meat then? Because
Yeah.
that is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that this entity, this thing that has been attached to Katie, has been following her for her whole life.
It started when I was 8, and I shared a room with my younger sister, Christy. She was 5. And at that time, we both, experienced whatever it was. From 13 on, it's happened periodically. Over the past few weeks, things have started happening again.
We are coming into the movie at one of those moments when the entity is more and more active. But there's this idea of something that you carry around with you for your whole life, whether it's your fault or not your fault, and what you bring into a home and what you bring into a relationship, almost like the baggage that you bring into a relationship. And this is like the most extreme horror scenario of baggage in a relationship.
Yeah, for sure. Because it seems like it was protective of her. They had just moved in to the home. They said the phrase, "We're engaged to be engaged." So there were plans of these people actually building something together. You don't just, I mean, I'm hoping people don't just move into each other's homes that they bought and not want to do something further in a relationship.
And they established they'd been together for 3 years. Obviously, it's not just a fling. They have plans for the
They're
future.
serious. Yeah. She's still a student. He is a what again?
Day trader.
Day trader. So he has money
He's
because
Pretty good day trader, apparently.
this place had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bedrooms. 5 to 6 bedrooms.
Yeah, at least 3 upstairs. And then,
2 restrooms.
yeah,
The walk-in closet with the attic upstairs.
the pool.
The pool outside.
Nice house.
And then she had a convertible.
Yeah. So they're doing good.
A Mazda convertible.
Yeah. Mazda. But
Mazda.
That's the movie version of Mazda. They couldn't get the rights to Mazda. Oh, look at my Mazda.
That's where all the money went into. Because you said this movie cost $15,000.
15, yeah.
So $14,000 was to rent that.
That Mazda. Yeah.
The Mazda. The Mazda.
The Mazda, yeah. You
Yeah.
can't say it, though. Yeah, they were clearly settling into each other's lives. And as in real relationships, as time goes on, you learn more and more about your partner. Something's good, something's bad. You start unpackaging the things that you bring into the relationship. They're literally unpackaging their home that they just moved into. And that's when the entity starts being active again.
I'm trying to solve the problem here. I didn't bring that thing into the house.
Don't do me.
You did.
Oh,
Thank you, Mika. Thank you so much.
What's really sad about this particular picture of it is that it was not Katie's fault at all. All of this baggage, aka the entity that she's bringing in, has just been with her because it randomly chose her.
And, that's something that she couldn't hide or run away from or keep from Micah at all. And it was rather sweet. I know we said that he wasn't the best of boyfriends just because their communication, there was no way they compromised at all. He wanted to do it his own way, which was affecting and ultimately pissing off the demon and hurting Katie more.
Is there something like we can do to make this stuff happen, to get it on tape?
These hauntings, they feed off of negative energy. So if there is something negative going on here, it will help spur on the haunting.
Their communication sucked.
Yeah.
And that is so important in a relationship. And when you're talking about ghosts and demons, that's even more so.
Even worse, even because they can get deadly. And that kind of goes back to Micah's dealing with issues of control.
Well, hopefully once we get on camera, we can figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Once we know what's going on, we can react appropriately. And
Go from there.
He wanted to feel like he had a sense of control of what was going on in his house and in his relationship.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to this thing of you have no control over what the other person brings into the relationship, but he wanted to. He wanted to control it so bad.
I think also there is this gender norm. He is the man, and there's this misogyny that has occurred now that he states wants this control of like, this is mine, this is my property.
You want to deal with that? You want to call it the demon guy?
Yes,
Call it
exactly.
exorcist?
I want to
Quack in
take
here,
care
tell
of
us what
this.
to do. I'm taking care of it. This is my house. You're my girlfriend. I'm gonna fucking solve the problem.
Katie wanted to, there were many times that she wanted to leave the home or, have him listen, and Micah just like didn't. And they just stayed there and never closed the goddamn door. What is the number one rule? Demons can't go through doors. They have a hard time. They don't know the mechanics. They don't know how to open the door.
They just don't get how they can turn a doorknob, and they don't get that technology yet.
No, not at all. So these people just never closed the goddamn door.
So,
Okay, here's the compromise. You can have your powder. You can do your little experiment. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't help us, I'm calling the demonologist and we're getting this taken care of.
There was always some sort of deal that had to be made for her to be able to somewhat communicate what she wanted. But every time then when they would get to that point of, okay, well, you did your powder experiment, and now we're calling the demonologist, he would then make another excuse of why they can't call him.
I got this under control. Yeah. And she's like, why? Because you're just filming it?
Making it worse, dude.
Come on.
The paranormal guy even said that. He's like, if you film it, it's going to get worse. And you're almost like antagonizing it. And at a certain point, it did kind of seem like the demon liked. It was a show for him, He loved that shit. It was like feeding his ego.
He's like, I'm just going to turn over this blanket. Katie.
Flutter. Ooh, look at those feet. Katie's feet.
Yeah. What do you think of... Okay, cool. There's that meat. We can jump into the can because I am interested in how... during the movie, I had mentioned that there were a lot of scenes of us re-watching the night scene,
like them discovering what happened.
Discovering it, which I like, but at the same time, not, because it was just like it's a double feed, but also if somebody missed it the first time or whatever for some reason, they can have it again.
I thought that it made sense in my mind because we are watching a found footage film. So we are watching people, quote unquote, in real life, making it, this is what would happen. They would go to sleep and then they would wake up and watch the footage and discover that thing. And then we see the reactions to it. I agree that we maybe didn't need to, because it happened a couple times where it happened at night. They woke up, they watched it, and they're like, oh my God. It did happen a couple times. So maybe they didn't need to do it as many times as they did it.
I think they did it like 3 times.
I think it was 3 times. Maybe like 1 less even. They didn't even need to do it.
Yeah.
But what it did drive home for me was the fact that we were watching a found footage and watching people live out their lives. And I think that the movie does an incredible job of selling that, between the acting and the cinematography. And I don't even know if I can call it the writing, because I'm pretty sure a lot of this was improv. But it just feels so natural. Everything feels everyone feels natural.
There's just a few times where I was like, ooh, okay, that didn't sell me. But for the most part, for me, what was good acting was that there was those pauses for when you're thinking about the next line, or they're stuttering, but it's not like too much. It's like natural. At least Katie's actress, she would do the eye flickering where like you're thinking about what to say. So there's like movement left and right, up and down. And there was a lot of that that I think for me, her role was really successful.
And they're actors that we don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and the shots look shitty a lot of the time,
Yeah.
overexposed, as if someone who doesn't have that much experience using a camera is using it.
Yeah, the way that you would hold it if you weren't really focusing on trying to get a shot. There was a lot of that that just got like filled because it is what would have happened
Yeah.
if you were recording.
You believe me, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think a standout thing that goes through this whole movie and is actually even mentioned in the log line, these nightly demonic presence, is that bedroom shot. You know, we return to that bedroom shot, and we get the night number, and we get this ramp up through the whole movie of shit going down at night. And at a certain point in the movie, when we see that shot, we're like, fuck, what's going to happen tonight?
What's next? You know, I came up with a good idea. They have a pool in the back.
This is probably the most foolproof plan I've
Right?
ever heard.
Okay. You have a priest, or if you can get a priest because they're all on vacation, just fill it with a bunch of holy water that
Yeah.
you buy from Amazon. Fill that pool. And
Holy
then
water pool.
buy a inflatable house or tent or those bouncy houses and just stay out there.
Just stay out there.
And fill, like, do a circle of crosses
Yeah.
and
Or in salt.
salt.
Ghosts hate salt.
Yeah, cover the crosses with honey, and then and then lick them off. No, and then roll them in salt, and then just have it all around
And then you have to live the rest of your life in a pool party.
in a pool party.
Whoa. Live my
how-
best life.
That would be great.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I would love that.
We just solved the movie. I think still today it is the most profitable film ever made.
Wow.
So
Well, it was truly, if I'm not mistaken, the beginning of found footage.
besides the
Blair
Blair
Witch.
Witch, yes, I would say that when the Blair Witch came out, it was almost like camcorders were just becoming accessible to people. But when Paranormal Activity came out, people had already started playing with these home videos. So I think there was more of a familiarity with home video style, which to me makes probably Paranormal Activity like hit more home because also it's inside of a home.
Yeah.
We all have home videos. And so now you're watching someone else's home videos, which is creepy in itself.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's get to the cook.
Let's do it.
I think a big part of the cook, which we've kind of already talked about, is the acting. Because to me, all the supernatural things that are going on in this movie I can buy them easier because the acting is so good. Even that paranormal guy that comes in.
It seems to me that that's what we're dealing with, something that's basically connected to you.
Informative.
Yeah.
That is the tone that he has, and I have read in voiceover auditions, is informative. It is somebody who has some sort of authority and knowledge in this subject. And I truly believed him when he appeared for the second time, when they called him in and they're like, please, we need your help. And he sensed it.
This is overpowering.
It's getting worse.
Yes, it certainly doesn't like that I'm here, and I cannot help you.
I don't know if you saw it, but his neck was so red. Like, he was like, had broken in a hive, and he was just like, I need to get out of here.
Holy shit.
This is fucking scary.
That was a great moment.
It was, yeah.
And that also, too, was a great moment for everyone else in that scene because at that point in the movie, everyone realized the stakes, even Micah, I think. And so even he was like, don't go. Please don't go.
They're like, oh my
Help.
Lord. Yeah, because the first time he was like, kind of like, bye. You know, he was like kind of joking around. He didn't take much, like, he didn't take it seriously. But like Katie was like, hey, I've been dealing with this my whole entire life. And I think it didn't click to her how dangerous this was until she found that burnt childhood picture in the attic.
And then there was a fire. We managed, everyone got out, no one was hurt, thank goodness. But we lost everything.
Those moments when we see Katie, especially because typically Micah's handling the camera, when we see her scared, she appears terrified. Like, she sells that she is really, and she's pleading with him. Some's like, please, 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 don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me.
Please.
I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there.
Yeah, that like, the need to be next to somebody when you're really scared.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that feeling.
It's almost like a return to child.
Uh-huh.
Of, like,
It's a
pleading
very
help. Like, I
Please.
am helpless.
like, please don't leave me down here by myself. When he was going up to the attic, and she's like, please, please don't leave me down here, because she just got dragged. Can we talk about that? She
Crazy.
got dragged. That is why I don't have my feet exposed during the night. No demon's gonna catch me. They can't see my feet.
I typically do keep my feet out of my covers because my feet get very hot, but I don't like hanging my feet over the edge of my bed because I don't know what's down there.
Little leprechauns are just coming and grabbing.
Hey! They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
Little goblins
I'm
too.
sorry.
I'm
I
sorry.
apologize. But yeah, seriously, like, so it always goes back to her acting, everyone else's acting. I think it just sells the movie. Like, it really just, the performances are what this whole movie is built off of, pretty much. Like, the special effects are great, but they're very minimal, and I like that because they're not throwing it in your face. It's also very much of a slow burn, and it's the acting performances that keep us in the story and keep us going with these characters because we're with them the whole time.
Yeah.
So kudos to both, I mean, all the actors really, but obviously the main two I think were fucking really good.
Did you hear that?
I'm going down.
No, make it no.
How about we get to the thrill?
Thrill.
Well, I mean, obviously, I think the thrill comes from this entity that is following Katie through her whole life. Very scary. Something that she can't get rid of. And then the movie does a really good job, I think, of slowly ramping up this entity's activities in the night. And in the day, at the end, he's doing stuff during the day, which is even scarier.
Well, like he's like, fuck you, Micah.
But I think it does a great job of really slowly ramping it up. And then at the end, just like full volume.
So yeah, I really like that kind of like ramping up. I like that you never get to see it. You just see a shadow.
I like that
Love
shadow.
that.
Mhm.
I love that shadow.
Great shadow. Great shadow.
And then the footprints with the powder, baby powder,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Micah
Yeah.
had a really like chapped ass, so they needed to get a bunch of baby
Hey,
powder.
look, there's some people whose asses are chapped and it hurts. Ow. Baby wipes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a baby white.
Not, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Like,
Duh.
just take care of your ass, everybody.
Just
Because
sidebar, take care of your ass.
take care of your ass, because you never know when it's going to get worse.
If there's one thing that we want to get across over these 50 episodes, take care of your ass.
Take care of your ass.
Please.
Take care of yourself. Go to the doctor. Check yourself out. You might have a demon inside of you.
Yeah, you might.
But I mean, speaking of thrills, this movie, when it first came out, I was terrified. Anything that comes with, or like it's dealing with ghosts or demons, I am afraid. Yeah.
Period.
Period.
You're done. Yeah. Hey, you screamed.
You
You screamed during this viewing.
it got me.
Yeah.
It got me.
Even years later after seeing this, still got you. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like those bedroom shots, every time we return to that, we had to ramp ourselves up of like, okay, what are we going to do? What's happening tonight?
Because you have a glow in the bedroom. You can see them sleeping quite clearly. But then because that door is open in the hallway and the stairs are just right in front, you don't know what's going to come out. Mm-hmm. You don't know if you're going to finally see something. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's quite creepy.
I've used this phrase before in this podcast. These Where's Waldo shots of we are staying on a shot for upwards of 5 minutes, the same shot. So it forces you to look around in the shot, and we know that at night when we see the shot, the paranormal activity is going to happen. So it's forcing us to search around this shot for what's going to move. Where's the shadow going to be? Mm-hmm. It is just creating this sense of dread through this entire time that we have to sit through this shot. We're just like, please cut away. Please cut away. I don't want to see what it's going to show me.
And you're imagining things. You're just actively putting stuff out there and creating an even worse scenario. Mm-hmm. Because that's what we do.
That's what we do. Because in the end, when we think about like looking back at all the nights that we see, we don't see anything too crazy. Mm-mm. But the anticipation and the dread of what's coming is built so well that it doesn't even matter that not much happened that night. We already feel the feelings that they're trying to make us feel.
Fuck.
So,
Demon, please just go back to the attic. I know you're upset that there's a lot of foam up there. Just ask politely, you know?
They have so many guest rooms in that place. Like, use one of those. Like, ask politely. Hey, guys, I'll stay.
Hey. Can I borrow one of these rooms?
Listen, Mike, I know you and I don't get along very well.
I've been in Katie's life all her life, and I don't think you're a great dude, but we can work it out.
I think we can work it out.
I'll just stay here. You wouldn't even know I'm here.
You won't even know. This demon's like some sort of like cuckold. Or something. It's like the original cuckold.
I'm picturing him with the little top hat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Tips his hat.
I think later in the series, don't take this information as any part of your review number because we're only reviewing this movie.
Right.
But I think later they name the demon as Toby.
Oh, Adam had a skeleton named Toby.
Hi, Toby.
And then I think he got it from something else. But yeah, he had named his life-size skeleton Toby that we had for a while, and then I actually broke his arms and legs.
What did Toby do to you? I broke his arms and legs. Take that, Toby.
No,
if you tell this demon Toby from Paranormal Activities, oh shit, I'm not messing with Leslie. Oh,
peace out.
Arms and legs. Holy
Adam,
shit.
you can have her. She's a lot.
She's hardcore. All right, let's pull into the ride, huh?
Right. Beep beep.
Beep beep. Overall, I mean, I have a fun time watching this movie. I have a very fun time. I mean, we've already kind of talked about it. It's a slow burn at sometimes. I'm never bored though because I enjoy watching these characters interact with each other, them trying to unravel the mystery that's going on, and then in the end, it does. I feel like pay off, and I was creeped out. I definitely got the the skeevies, you know.
Oh yeah, I was hugging that pillow tight, and I had that big ass scream. So yeah, it still affects me because it's still creepy. Ghosts, really does a number on me, and I had forgotten how enjoyable this movie was, because every scene is so intentional, and it just flows natural. Even though there were some times where I was just like, you guys are not communicating. But I feel like even with that, it was still what people would do in these circumstances where they just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to figure it out and having to call people they didn't even think they were ever going to call.
And you're absolutely right in the way of, you know, that this is a successful movie because after this movie, there were so many found footage films trying to be this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of another found footage film that is as successful as this one was. It's hard for me to think of one. There was this movie, I think, called Host that came out. This was in response essentially to the pandemic because, again, the pandemic resurged this kind of found footage subgenre that you're talking about, where we're just getting recordings essentially of computer screens. This movie was friends trapped in the pandemic, and they're all talking to each other on Zoom, and then
Oh yeah.
the entire horror film is through the Zoom chat, and you're seeing the different people in their screens, what they're doing in their houses. We never leave the computer screen. It's just, that movie was really good. And that movie,
Yeah?
I was like, wow, they got really creative with the constraints of this. And I think that movie I don't think would have happened without Paranormal
Exactly.
Activity, for
Yeah.
sure. And they then took that form, took what was going on in the world at the time, reformatted it, and made it something that felt new and felt scary. And yeah, I really don't see that movie happening without Paranormal Activity
Yeah,
happening first.
there needs to be steps that happens,
Mm-hmm.
and there needs to be something that is so successful that then it becomes a style. And
crazy.
I mean, I remember my brother when I was a young lad.
And I was a young gal. I was a little lass.
I was a little lass. He had gotten a video camera, and he was doing his own movies. Like when Blair Witch happened, he did his own movie, and I remember he showed it to me. Although I was like freaking 5 or 6 years old, he showed it to me, and I was terrified. I was so scared. And then at the end of the film, he had recorded my mom getting upset with him.
That's also scary.
That was scary because she was like, "Get that out of my face!" and slapped him, or didn't slap him, but like just moved the camera.
Well, that's interesting too. I mean, yeah, like inspiring filmmakers for sure, but then down to like the common person who sees Paranormal Activity and sees that style, and it feels like I can do that too. Like, to me, that only encourages people to be creative and allows people to feel like they can get to that level almost. You know, it's an inspiration for
like,
people to be like, holy shit, like I can make a movie with $15,000 and it make millions. Like that's crazy.
And I love a good response to what's going on in the world, especially when it comes to technology, because it will always be of its time. Because from this point on, things are just going to get better and better and better to the point that we might not have cameras. And they'll be like, I don't know, in the sky,
In
our eyeballs. Oh, that episode of Black Mirror.
Yar.
Oh!
Talk about scary. Oh my God.
That whole series is so good. Anyways, we can't get into Black Mirror because I have so much to say.
I think Paranormal Activity. Wow.
Paranormal.
Wow.
Wow.
2007. Good job.
Good
Wow.
job.
Let's get to the Smash Pumpkins.
Smash.
Shall we smash them? Do you have a number?
I do.
Okay. What's your
I do.
number?
You know, my number is going to be 4.5.
Nice. 4.5.
That 0.5 is only going to be because I wish they would have done the holy water pool. Just come out of your comfort zone. Try to do something more. But yeah, like for everything that we said, it's still Very enjoyable. It's still very creepy for me. Am I going to sleep at night? Yeah. I'm not that scared.
No.
Maybe.
We'll
Hold
see,
on.
we'll see
I'm
tonight.
saying this now that the sun is still out.
Yeah.
Kind of. What's your number? That was a big sigh.
I know, because
Oh.
I think I'm going to give it a 5.
Wow!
Because, yeah, I did not expect, actually, to give it a 5 when I went into this movie. But I forgot how good it was. I forgot how enjoyable it was. And then as we talk about it more and as we talk about how it's like, it's a chapter marker in filmmaking. Not even just like horror movies. It's a chapter marker in filmmaking of found footage films. So, God, it's hard not to give it that full credit. And I enjoyed every bit of it. I was still scared. I got the shivers. I got the goosebumps of it. I remember feeling the same fear when I saw it in movie theaters back then.
Yeah.
It still holds up. I'm giving it the 5.
Wow. You know what's another movie that like creeps me out because of its found footage is
Everyone's waiting in anticipation.
oh no. Well, because I was gonna say The Sixth Sense, but no, it's not that. And then I was gonna say The Fifth Element, but it's not that. It's the
Fourth kind?
fourth kind.
Okay. Because we had 6, 5. I was like, we're counting down
I
here.
knew it was a fucking number. I just knew it. I was like, is that the sixth?
The fourth kind is the alien one.
Yeah.
That was a creepy one.
And that
That's
lady
creepy.
looked like a fucking alien. I was like, this
Yeah.
this has got to be real.
Mila Djokovic?
Is she an actress?
Yeah, she's in that's the girl I'm pretty sure that's in Resident Evil movies. I think she's the main Resident Evil actress.
No.
Let me see.
Because she's beautiful. Resident Evil lady is very beautiful.
Yes.
That girl's eyes was popping out of her head. And then
me
she's like, I couldn't walk for the rest of my life.
It is Mila Djokovic.
No.
And she is in The Fifth Element.
No, not that girl.
Why?
It's the girl that got her family taken away by the aliens.
Oh, this girl?
Oh, fuck. She is an actress.
Mia McKenna Bruce.
I mean, I know it's a film. But in the beginning, they're like, this is real and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and
no,
the
yeah, she like walks up to the camera
Yeah,
and like
she's
addresses
like,
this is
"Hi."
that movie.
Yeah.
And I should put this in the bucket. I don't know if this is in the bucket, but I remember being
Oh,
extremely creeped out.
I will, if we, I will have problems. Oh,
Let me screenshot
I would
this real
still
quick.
be scared.
Let me screenshot this.
Aliens and ghosts, everybody. Those two will forever.
Yeah, because what it was like mixing found footage, quote unquote, with stuff that they had shot as like dramatizations. Yes.
Yeah, reenactments.
Ooh, creepy.
And then also an interview at the beginning and at the end of the film.
Oh my God, with the real woman.
Yeah, with the lady whose eyes literally were popping out of her head and she was like sunking in.
I know, yes.
And like, oh.
Yeah, she looked terrible.
She looked bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, this lady.
You know, Mila Djokovic was her reenactress.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
I know who she is and she's great.
Yes.
Anyhow.
Anywho.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
All right. Let's see what we're pulling out in the bucket.
Ooh.
I don't think I put fourth kind in there, but what if we pull it out right now?
That would be, I would walk out. I'd be like, horror gods,
Horror gods.
what you doing?
I'm going to do actually what you did last time, which I'm going to pull out 2, and then you pick the hand.
Okay.
Go deep on this one.
Go deep.
Ooh, this one.
That one.
I just got
Not you.
Hold on.
That one's calling to me.
What have they brought us? Yes! I saw the title, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited right now.
boy. Oh boy.
Honestly, I might have asked for this on the wish list. I don't know, but here we go. Holy shit.
Oh God.
go.
I'm creeped out.
A year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a new killer who targets the girl and her friends by using horror films as a part of a deadly game.
Scary movie.
No,
Scary.
Scream.
I mean, that's what I meant.
yeah, Scream.
Scream.
Woo,
Woo!
Ghostface.
Yeah, thank you, horror gods.
This is one of my faves. And Wes Craven, director. Love you, buddy. Wow.
Come on
And actually,
over.
this is very timely because Scream 6 just came out.
It did.
So-
With Miss Jenna Ortega
Jenna Ortega.
and friends.
Jenna Ortega and friends. But wow, Scream, another classic.
Wow.
Directed by Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson. See you next week, y'all.
Woo! Yeah. So he's excited. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go cheer. 50 episodes, everybody. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you.
You all rock. Thank you for
Yeah.
the support. And also another new announcement that we just set up today. We have a number that you can call. And
Like
you,
a phone number,
like
y'all.
a phone number, yeah, on your phone. And you can call. We won't pick up, but please leave a voicemail and give us any movie suggestions you have, questions you have for us, thoughts on films that we've reviewed already,
Yeah.
or just, why you like horror.
Why do you like horror? Anything you've watched so far? Like, it doesn't have to be a movie. It could be a show, too. But like horror,
Yeah, keep it horror,
'cause,
please.
that's what we talk about.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Give us a
call it
call.
up. Yeah.
Maybe we'll feature you on the show.
Should we, like, say it here?
Oh, right. Yeah, you probably do want to know the number.
773-669-6677. Easy peasy,
Easy
lemon
peasy.
squeezy. We try to get as many six in there for us and for you.
Yeah, we got a lot of Give us a call. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, love to hear you. So, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Leslie. Color me, Leslie.
And me at BP Pritchie T. And us at the Deadlights Pod. And check out Playground Social, which is the studio that we're recording this at. But
Until next time.
let's get spooky.
Oh
Oh my gosh. It's here. Toby is here.
Toby.
Toby.